Wales is one of my favourite places to cycle through. To explore as much as we could of this beautiful country, we decided to ride 240 miles in 3 days from the bottom to the top of Wales. We started in Chepstow in the south, before heading north through the Brecon Beacons, Elan Valley, Snowdonia and finishing in Llandudno. After riding out from Bristol and meeting Adam and Alexi at the Severn Bridge just outside Chepstow, it was time to leave the city behind us and start our Welsh adventure. The hill soon started, although we knew it was nothing compared to what was just a few miles ahead of us. Gospel Pass is the highest road in Wales, and at around 10 miles long and 1,800 feet high, it's a tough climb. It starts out gently, but feels endless, especially with all our camping gear attached to our bikes. It starts to ramp up towards the top of the climb, but the views just get better and better, with stunning views right across Wales. Anything that goes up has to come down, and this road definitely has an epic descending. Today's route was the longest day on the trip, with just under 100 miles planned. I was a little apprehensive on whether I'd actually manage the distance, as I hadn't done anything close to this in over a year. Having ticked off the biggest climb of the day gave me some confidence though, with my legs still being able to spin away. Elan Valley soon came into view, with its picturesque reservoirs and dams. With steep sides up from the valley, it took a lot of hiking and pushing our laden bikes up a rough track to find some flat grassland to camp for the night. The view over the dam and reservoir below was magnificent, and was a perfect place to rest our legs and eat our pasta as the sun set over the nearby mountains. The temperature dropped below zero overnight, covering our tents and bikes in frost and freezing some of our water. Once we had regained the feeling in our fingers, it was time to descend back down into the valley and take in the beautiful Elan Valley landscape. For a bank holiday weekend, it was surprising how quiet all the roads were. It made riding even more enjoyable. As we twisted our way further north on small country lanes, we passed forests, moorlands, small Welsh villages and more reservoirs. It was still windy and cold enough that we needed to wear full-length clothing, but but the sun in the sky was brightly shining. In need of a break, we made a stop at a hotel overlooking a lake, much to the amusement of the bar staff, who couldn't understand why on earth we were riding across Wales just for fun. Before we stopped for the night, there was just one last challenge of the day, riding up the steepest street in the Northern Hemisphere. This is of course the climb in the village of Harlow. While it is only around 320 metres long, it has a staggering gradient of around 37%. With our bikepacking bags and after a long day in the saddle, I didn't think it would be possible to ride up, but with agonising pedal strokes, we made it up without falling off. With dusk approaching and my knee starting to play up, we found a small woodland and set up camp for the night. We knew a storm was approaching, so we quickly packed up the tents around 5 in the morning with the aim of getting as many miles as we could before the rain and the 60-mile-an-hour winds started. The plan worked for the first few miles, before the heavens opened and the roads turned into rivers in a matter of minutes. We decided to shorten the route, heading directly to the Llandudno train station, avoiding the exposed mountains and any unnecessary distance. It was a rushed way to finish the trip, racing to get the soonest train as possible to dry off and get out of the rain, but the end of another cracking adventure.